Hello, welcome to Inside High School Magazine's 5 a Week with Sir Kobe. On today's series, we will be exploring 5 ways to identify your gifts and talents. Now, before I go into the 5 ways you can identify your gifts and talents, last week we discussed the importance of your gifts and talents if you want to succeed as a younger person in Ghana. So it is very key that if you want to succeed, especially as a young person anywhere around the world, you need to know what your gifts and your talents are. And most people find it difficult to identify what their gifts and talents are. So today what we are doing is we're going to sort of explore some of the ways in which you can identify your gifts and talents. Point 1, find your strengths. Find your strength. You need to sit back, relax, and ask yourself, what is my strength? You need to be able to identify what your strengths are. What are the things that come naturally to you? What are the things that you don't need to study hard to do? What are the things that you can just wake up now when they ask you to do and you can do it as quickly as possible? And sometimes some of these things we do not take serious because it's just normal. Oh, I can cook, it's normal. I can sing, it's normal. I gossip, I talk a lot, it's normal. But some of these things are actually your strength. So you need to sit back and ask yourself, what are some of the things that I do easily? Maybe when I take a pen and I sketch, it comes to me easily. When I stand before a camera and I'm talking, it comes to me easily. I can interview people when I'm given a microphone to interview people. All these little things that you are ignoring because it's just normal are things that you should be looking at as your strength. So do well to sit back and think about these things very, very well. What are the little things that you think you seem not to even be focusing on? These things can be your strength. Point 2, ask friends and family what your qualities are. Another way in which you can identify what your gifts and talents are is to ask family and friends. The people that have known you for the longest are one of the people that can actually tell you what are your best qualities, what are your strengths, what do you like to do, what do you do easily. So ask your friends, those that you've been with for longer. Please, if you have been with people for 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, you just gone to high school or you just met them as a friend, there's no need asking them. They will not know you that well. Ask people that you've been with for longer. Let's say from 6 months going, you've known them for 6 months to 10 years to the bestest after a year. If you've known them for as long as over a year, you want to ask them, girl or boy, what do you think are some of my qualities? And don't let them know that you are trying to identify what your gifts and talents are. Just ask them a random question. Ask your parents a random question. Mom, dad, what do you think are my best qualities? When I was young, what are some of the things I was doing? You need to ask these things to mom and dad. When I was young, what are some of the things that I was doing, mom? Can you tell me some of the things that I used to do? I probably may not be doing it now, but they will tell you, oh, maybe when you were younger, you used to talk a lot. You fought a lot. You liked drawing. You liked painting. You find all these things from when you ask your parents some of these things. Take them down. Some of the things that your friends will say about you, note them down. However little it is, as little as you gossip or you can lie or you can make up stuff. Take note of these things. They may feel like it's nothing, but you can write these things down and develop on it further. I hear some people say, oh, you can lie. And sometimes you ask yourself, well, how can I develop lies? It's not a good thing in the first place. But if you're able to convince people to actually believe something that doesn't exist, it's likely you can be an actor. It's likely you can be a detective. It's likely you can be a private investigator. You just need to write these things down and explore it further. So ask your friends, ask your family, what are my best qualities? What do you think are my best strengths? What was I doing as a young person? And you will be able to identify what your gifts and talents are through this. You'll find a lot of things, but write them all down. Take time and write them all down and explore them further. Point 3, find what you spend most of your time and your money on. Now, it's very key. This may not apply to some people because some people spend money on unnecessary things. But there are most people amongst us, or most people who will be watching me today, who spend time on things that they are interested in. Things that may be a part of their life, but they're not really sure because they don't see it as a gift or they don't see it as a talent. There are some people that will spend time online just watching people do makeup. They seem to have an interest in it, but within them, they feel like they cannot do it. There are some people that they know everything about celebrities. They can tell you what is happening in their lives. They can tell you what's happening around the world, what's happening in the lives of some celebrities. They can give you all the gossips, and yet they haven't moved from their house to anywhere. And I believe one of the perfect examples that you can use is an individual in Ghana that is known as Zion Felix. I believe Zion Felix is the kind of person who likes information, likes to gather news and all that. And Zion, if you check him out, he has utilized this gift of his to start a blog. To start blogging about these celebrities. He interviews these celebrities. So take advantage of these things. Ask yourself, what am I spending my time on? What am I spending my time on when it comes to when I'm going online? Where am I spending my time? What am I spending my money on? What am I buying? And explore these things. Some of these things that you're spending your money on is actually your gifts and your talents, but you wouldn't think of it that way. But from today, I want you to think of it that way. Think of it. When I wake up early in the morning throughout the day, what do I actually focus my time on? What do I do the most with my time? It is very key that you identify your gifts and talents so you don't waste your time in university studying something that you are not interested in. While you are in high school, you want to focus to identify that gift. So whatever you are doing now, when you go to uni, you can shift into what your gift and your talent actually is and study that course. Because after you're done identifying your gifts and talent, you need to develop it. You don't just identify it and sit back and say, oh, I'm a singer, oh, I'm a painter, I'm a comedian, or I'm an actor, I'm a presenter, radio presenter, and just sit down and just wish that it happens. You need to develop it a bit further. So you probably will have to go to school and focus all your education on that talent, develop it, utilize it whilst you are in school. Number 4, notice what people thank you for. Now, there are people amongst us that constantly, your friends and people around your family keep thanking you for a specific thing. People come to you and they thank you after you're done doing that thing for them. You realize, oh, thank you for this the other day. Oh, thank you. I can rely on you. Thank you so much for the advice. Thank you so much for the provision. Thank you so much for that. Oh, you were a shoulder to cry on. Oh, thank you for that. Just ask yourself, what are people thanking me for? To be honest with you, if people are not thanking you for anything, I don't know what to say, but you need to do something for people to be thanking you for it. So explore the things that people are thanking you for, and those things are likely what you were created to do. They are likely your gifts or your talent. So what are your family thanking you for? What are your friends thanking you for? What are even strangers thanking you for every day in your life? While you are in school, while you are at home, wherever you are, what are people actually thanking you for? That thing is likely to be your talent. That thing is likely to be your gift, and you need to develop that a bit further. Number 5. If you don't want to go through all the stress, now all the things that we've spoken about are things that it's having interactions with people, finding these things about yourself through the people that are around you, because sometimes that's the easiest way of finding these things. But if you want to go through the psychological, scientific way, you can just take a personality test. It's as simple as that. If you go online, there are so many personality tests that you can take. Just Google it. Personality tests. Google it. Personality tests online, and then you go through the tests, tick some boxes, answer some questions, and that personality test will sort of point you in the direction of who you are meant to be or the gifts that you possess. It probably will tell you what your characteristics are, but it's another step that you can take. Number 5, go online, take the personality test, and it will help you identify some of your gifts and your qualities. It may identify quite a lot, but the key thing here is you're not just identifying these things and relaxing. You're identifying these things so you can further develop it, especially if you're in high school. You want to go to uni and study the things that you were created to do. You want to go to uni and study the things that are your gifts and your talents, the things that interest you, so you don't come out and go and work in an occupation that you're not happy in. So make sure to find your gifts and talents, and be open to change, because some of these things that you find out, you may convince yourself it doesn't make money, and therefore I'm not going to develop it a bit further. To be honest with you, 10 years ago probably, football wasn't anything. Playing tennis wasn't that important. Most of the things that are making people so much money probably 10 years or 20 years ago meant nothing. But those people who are succeeding in that field developed it. They developed that gift. So they developed their gifts in playing football. They developed their gifts in singing, in rapping. They developed their gifts in playing tennis. And these people are today succeeding in that field. So whatever you identify, don't let it bring you down. If yours is maybe comedy and all you do is you joke about and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, there's not much in comedy when it comes to Africa. Develop your craft. Now you can study another course and maybe, have a backup plan, but always develop your gift and your talents. So when you identify it, be open to change. Don't let your surroundings limit you. Now, wherever you find yourself, whether you are in poverty, whether you're struggling, your parents do not have money, no matter what your circumstance or your situation and surroundings are, don't let it limit you from exploring who you are, what you have been created to do, and developing your gifts and your talents. Do well to send us your comments if you have any comments concerning what we discussed today. And also remember to follow us on our various platforms at Inside High Mag on all platforms. And you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is at Sir Kobe. On Twitter, I'm known as Sir Kobe1. Do well to follow me. Let's have a chat. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. And remember, subscribe. This is 5 a Week with Sir Kobe. Thank you.